celery, the symphony, 60 musicians with different scores playing different instruments, coming together to make magic. The job of conductor is no easy task and is in many ways similar to being a leader in other types of organizations. So what can we learn from the one actually wielding the baton? Music is Ben Zander's love. It's also his occupation. He's the conductor of the Boston Philharmonic Orchestra and a guest artist in concert halls around the world. As if that isn't enough, Zander also has a bit of a sideline.
I invite the back row to come up and sit in the front row in the same spirit in which the government invites you to pay your taxes.
Ben Zander, public speaker. He's a bit of a Dr. Phil with a baton.
Then I get a front row that is completely filled, which of course makes all the difference to me, presenting, but more importantly for the people in the room, for the rest of their life, they get the opportunity to choose to be in the front row, right? And this is a state of being. This is not geographical. This is a state of being, a place where you're willing to participate, to take risks, to be spat on, you know, all the things that happen.
Zander was brought to Toronto by the International Music Academy in Markham to participate in a conference for conductors.
He represents, I think, what all of us wish to be, aspire to be in this profession, which are transformational leaders that will lead not only the people with whom we work directly, which are the musicians, but all of the audience, the extended audience of possible listeners.
He talks to a diverse array of corporations and associations about what he calls transformation.
Transformation is something totally different. Transformation happens when you shift your view of the world, when you see that what you've been doing is hiding, taking yourself away, not participating, not engaging, not taking risks by sitting in the back row of your life.
Zander the maestro wants to transform the way the rest of the world thinks about leadership. He says the hierarchical, fear-based model doesn't work anymore.
You can't impose your will on people's hearts. You can impose your will on people's hands and feet, but you can't win their hearts with force. So people will perform under those circumstances, sometimes extremely well. If your will is strong enough and you can dominate them enough and you can subject them to your will, you'll get results. The trouble is, it's not much fun for the people involved and the eyes don't shine. I had always thought that conducting was forcing other people to obey my will. And then my eureka, my road to Damascus moment was the realization the conductor doesn't make a sound. He's silent. Right? So it's the players who play. My power is enormous, but it consists entirely of my ability to make other people powerful.
Zander says there are two distinct worlds you can live in. The first, the world of the downward spiral.
Or they might say, I'm not doing very well in my life, or the pressures are too great, or I'm very tired because there's so much I have to do. In the music profession, if we're musicians and we're worried about things, we might say, the little old ladies who like classical music are all dying, so there's not going to be an audience.
The second world is what he calls the world of possibility.
Happy birthday to you. Great, you've got the crescendo and you've got the hands. Now, if you're at all excited about Michael's birthday, could you inform your faces about it? The world of possibility is a world when you speak to other people knowing that they want to be the best they can be. When you get to about Michael's age, it looks as though it might go downhill from here. Happy birthday, dear. And radiating possibility is a world that we don't access with great ease, but we all know what it feels like. Nobody would doubt that that's the model that's appropriate for a family, or for a community, or for a church, now, or for school. Now the question is, why not for business?
Zander says a program he took in the 80s had a lasting impact on his outlook.
Landmark Education is a wonderful transformational program, one of many, maybe the most powerful or effective, but it's one of many programs which are available today which teach transformation. And my wife and I took that program 25 years ago. It had a tremendous effect, as it always does. It's a weekend program. And I have enormous, and we both have enormous debt to pay to that organization. Yeah. Now, Peter, could you pretend you're having a good time? Looking awfully severe. Just enjoy. Because when you get to that E, it's just like the sun coming out. Try.
He believes that music has the power to take people from the world of the downward spiral to the world of possibility.
Let me ask you, what is your name?
Jane.
Jane, this is Jane. Peter, this is Jane. Peter, this is Jane. Jane has had rather a tough month. Actually, it's been a pretty difficult year for Jane altogether. And now along comes Peter with his cello to remind Jane how wonderful life can be.
He gets a lot of applause now, but life has not always been wonderful for Ben Zander. He's been through the breakdown of 2 marriages and the end of his career as a cellist.
I couldn't produce calluses on my fingers, so I couldn't be a cellist. I had blood streaming down the fingerboard, so the door was closed. As a result, opened up conducting as another path.
That optimism goes for mistakes, too.
So you cannot learn anything unless you make a mistake. So what I tell my students and my people in my orchestra and everything, I said, if you make a mistake, the thing to do is to celebrate. And the way to celebrate is like this. How fascinating! Right? Try it on the golf course next time you're out. It's actually the right thing.
If it sounds like he's summoning his inner child, he is.
And there was a little girl. She was sitting with her parents at the other end of the room. And she's about 5 years old. And she started wandering, meandering, I think it's where, 5-year-olds don't go directly from one place to another. They can. Anyway, eventually she reached my chair. She came up to me and she said, "Hello!" Hello! Everything was open. Now, how can we have that hello be the rallying cry for this new world we're going into? And we are going into a new world. We are going into a new world. I say the next 30 years are going to be the most exciting 30 years in human history. The question is, what kind of world do we want? And who do we have to be for the journey?
Coming up.